Hello, bright and shiny beacons of light. I'm Michael Sandler, your host on Inspire Nation, coming to you live tonight in YouTube land and soon to be Instagram Live and some other places as well, as we're going for it on multiple platforms. How does it get any better than this? Whew. Tonight's a really special talk. I want to take a deep dive in areas that I haven't dared to before, that have been very near and dear to my heart. And I really want to speak to the heart from you. So I channel for each of these YouTube live events. I got a channeling for this event on, I think it was Friday. The guides wouldn't leave me alone on Saturday. They come back through on Sunday, and they came through again today. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to sew Friday's talk and today's talk together and see what we come up with, as the guides will continue to speak to me throughout the talk as well. I do a process called automatic writing. We have a class on it Thursday if you want to come join us and learn this technique as well. It first started in automatic writing, and now the guides come to me, well, pretty much throughout the day. So I feel like going back to the beginning, and we're gonna take an arc here tonight. Then we're gonna do a Q&A session. And then we're going to do a very short but powerful, very powerful group meditation tonight. So I can remember going back, oh my God, we just got $100 donation to One Tree Planted, a very well vetted organization for planting trees to help the earth, something we need tremendously right now. So thank you so much. How does it get any better than this? How does it get any better than this? So I can remember going back to high school, way back when. And I can remember being in a history class, and they were talking about how there was a time and a place where you need to go to war. Up goes my hand. I don't get it. Karen, thank you for your donation as well. I don't get it. Teacher's like, what don't you get? I'm like, I don't get killing somebody for any reason. And they're like, well, if your family attacked, if your town is attacked, if your state is attacked, if your country is attacked. And up goes my hand again. And they're going, oh God, no. I still don't get it. What don't you get? I don't understand killing my fellow man or my fellow woman for anything. Now we're going to bring that full circle here tonight. Actually, we're going to be doing several spirals as we expand upwards in this talk here tonight. And my team's going to get to, which is Aya, Ann, and Bhavik here tonight, are going to get to fasten their seatbelt and hold on for dear life, because I have all these notes in front of me and the guides are coming through so loud and clear. I'm not even sure what we're going to do about it. So it seems like lately, no matter what I turn, no matter who I speak with, no matter who I interview, no matter what I write about, there's even a book coming through me now that Neil Donald Walsh of Conversations with God, he's pushing me to get this book done and get this book out. You may have heard it on the Paul Selig show a couple weeks ago. You will hear it certainly on Neil Donald Walsh's show this coming Thursday. So let's go back to Paul's show. Paul Selig channels the guides, my favorite all time, although now him and Neil one and one. Paul Selig channels the guides, which talks about getting to an upper room, getting to a higher state of consciousness, coming together as one at a higher state. And Paul shocked me in last Thursday's interview, and you can catch the recording. I can put the link in there. He said, it's great to get to the upper room. It's great to be in this higher level state, but you need to step forward, and you need to step forward here on earth. So I had Neil Donald Walsh, and I was shocked by that, and I had to go back to it because I'm like, Paul, usually the guides are saying it's always an inside job. And he said, not anymore. It's a balance of both. So I went to Neil this week and we did an interview. He's the author of, I think, 8 or 9 New York Times bestsellers, Conversations with God. I think he sold almost 40 million copies worldwide. Million. And so we're talking, and he flat out said, well, humanity's in trouble. I'm not sure humanity's going to make it. God has a warning, and that'll actually be the basis for this show on Thursday. The long and short of it, again, we need to step forward. It's no longer just an inside job. This keeps coming up in every single writing, everything I look at, in everything I do. It comes up time and time again. So I'm not, let's lay the found work for this, and forgive me for all the I's because it really is we. However, me has not a political bone in his body. I love you. I love you. I love you. I love this person, no matter what their party. I love that person, no matter what their party. I am an equal opportunity hugger. That's right. I will hug anyone. Equal opportunity hugger. I love everyone, period, no matter what. Some people I'm going to stay the heck away from. Some people I'm going to put up one hefty boundary. Some people I may even run from. But I'm an equal opportunity hugger. What does that mean? It means what I'm going to share with you in a minute may sound political. I don't believe it will, but it may. And please know, I love everybody on every side of everything, because last I checked, this is a circle. There are no sides on a circle. Show me a side on a circle. Well, we can call it north, we can call it south. Roll the ball. Now, which is north, which is south? There are no sides on a circle. There are no sides in humanity. It doesn't exist. So I don't read the news deeply, although I read a lot of positive stories about change. But I try to catch the majority of headlines to see where the zeitgeist, the energetic beingness of the planet is going right now. And even just catching the titles of stories, first off, it can hurt your heart if you're not careful. And it can certainly lead you down some rabbit holes, but you get an idea of what's going on. So last week we had the climate protest in New York City, and we had the UN Climate Summit, of which, again, no political bone in my body, the US did not attend. However, and this is what got me, forgive me, I love everybody from every country. Understand, I'm part Russian, I'm part Ukrainian. It's all the same thing. I woke up with nightmares before the conflict started and knew what was coming. It's literally in my DNA. US wouldn't attend the climate summit, but the next day it's announced, after a big talk on peace, it's announced all of these giant missiles that would be sold to end the conflict or to help end the conflict. I'm going to come back to this. And forgive me, again, not a political bone in my body, equal opportunity hugger. But what Neil was challenging me and saying, you've got to come out with your book. Paul was challenging me and saying, you've got to do this work. Everybody has been challenging me to speak my truth. And my truth that I'm uniquely suited to, and we are all suited to our own truth, to our own game. But where I'm best suited to play and to help people to change is about one thing and one thing only. Cycling? No. Swimming? No. Veganism? No. Oh, good, thanks. No. Unity consciousness. The big picture at the end of the day. And we will come full circle as to what we're not being told, what they're trying to keep from us. And there is a they. I don't know if I call it a big bad they, because again, we are all one, but there is a they trying to manipulate the conversation right now. There is a they trying to keep us powerless right now. There is a they trying to keep us under their finger or under their thumb so that we don't do something about the current state of affairs. I can remember being nuts with the American electoral process. Forgive me. Oh, geez, like 30 years ago or something, way back when. I looked at all the candidates and I said, you know, what's interesting about the candidates? I don't think the people here are for war. I think people want peace. Yet every single candidate is for war. What's up with that? All right. What am I uniquely capable of talking about? About us being all one. You. Yes, you. You're my brother. You're my sister. Past lives, my mother, my father, my son, my daughter, my everything. You are my everything. I hope I'm a little bit of your everything as well. We are all one. There are no exceptions to that rule. We are one. It doesn't matter what you do. We are still all one. You would never tell the infant in your arms who all of a sudden, I don't know, pees on you, poos on you, bites you. You would never say, you know, you're my infant, but not anymore. We are not one. What? You would love them up no matter what. You might have to wash some clothes, might have to put a Band-Aid on your finger, might watch your fingers moving forward, but you would never do that to your infant. If we had even 1 billionth of that level of kindness and common understanding for everyone else on this planet, this would be a different world. And that's what we need right now. Is it easy to think we are all one? Yes. But is it scary? Absolutely. However, is it the only way through? Well, yeah. Look at the results of what's going on right now. There has never, ever in the history of humanity been a war for peace, that's been won that has brought a lasting peace. Short-term peace, yeah, lasting peace, never. And that's what different countries want right now. Hey, if this group beats that group and we give this group missiles and we don't give that group missiles, then we'll have peace. No, you won't. You'll have, forgive me, pissed off mofos who want revenge and have regret and are so upset and have been so hurt. A bullet in you is a bullet in me. A missile in one is a missile in we. There ain't never been a missile alive. Yes, I'd use that term deliberately. There ain't never been a missile alive that's brought about peace. There has never been I read about this week, a mom put behind bars for helping her daughter that's brought about peace. There's never been a war against anything. Oh my gosh, those amazing donations. Helena Pestrock, thank you so much. How does it get any better than this? Anonymous, I love you. It doesn't matter what your name is. We are one. Thank you so much for your kind donation, $50 and $20 to One Tree Planted. How does it get any better than this? There's never been a war against cancer that's brought about peace, a war against drugs that brought about peace, a war against Russell Brand, for instance, that's brought about peace. None of this will work. There is not a war for peace that will ever work. The only thing that ever comes out of war is more war. Nobody has ever been healed because of war. Nobody has ever been thought, it was so great that I got to go to war. Now you could say, but there's evil and tyranny, and that's got to be stopped. Well, evil and tyranny mean fear, worry, anxiety, and separation. You want to end fear, worry, anxiety, and separation? Hug somebody. Send them the greatest bomb in the world, a giant wooden carton, make sure it lands safely, of food and supplies. Help somebody have clean water. Help somebody have clean air. Help save the population, help save agriculture, help save the planet. Hello, bringing it full circle. Missiles over climate? Are you kidding me? Do we really need to blow anything else up? Can anybody feel the heat right now? Hello. Nobody ever celebrated the killing or hurting of another, although it's craziness. All right, it's absolutely crazy. I read a lot of blogs on climate, on weather. It's one of the things I geek out to. Heck, I'm like, front stage for where hurricanes can go. It's important that I follow this stuff, but I followed it since I was a kid. Ever since do I really want to date myself? Oh, way back when there was a blizzard, I got to jump out of my roof and into the snow. How's that? I have followed the climate ever since then. That kind of snow, I'm not sure if it really exists where I grew up, but if you look at like the bombings of Hiroshima and Nagasaki, there was no celebrating from that. It was really a time of national mourning when we understood what had really happened. When the end of Japan at that time came, there was nothing to celebrate. And I know that different countries were freed, and I know that Aya and Anne, and I understand the national history. But the fact is, we have never, as a people, celebrated the killing of another people. Again, a bullet through one is a bullet through all of us. A weapon against one is a weapon against all. However, conversely, a hug for one is a hug for all. That's what we're talking about. If we can get a national or international coalition of huggers to go out there and start hugging each other, don't worry, we've got another big picture message coming up. But if we can get everybody to start doing that, that will change everything. Hugging is the greatest agent in the world, the greatest power in the world, because the greatest change agent is love. And it's love and only love that can be the greatest preemptive strike on this planet. That's where we get to begin with love, love, love. Is love scary? No. Is it simple? Yes. Is it an idea whose time has come? Absolutely. Will it make all the difference? Yes. Heck, I was reading an article today where if we took, $25 trillion from oil and fuel, we could help change the climate. How about if we help people put down their guns and we have this amazing worldwide military and army of change agents of love helping us to shift the climate, helping us to come up with new energy sources, helping with an army of love to change this place. That's what it's really about. So I get this juxtaposition of missiles and climate change, and I look at these two and my head just goes, I goes, what is going on here? And that's the bigger picture message for today. What is going on here? Why is it that is socially acceptable that the U.S., I'm just using them as an example, the U.S. can not show up. I believe, was it China that also didn't show up? Forgive me if I have that wrong. I'm U.S.-centric today, where I'm living, though we are all one. But the U.S. doesn't show up for that, but it can show up to sell missiles. Let's step back from this. If we don't get the climate in order, this place is uninhabitable. If we blow up the planet, this place is uninhabitable. We are racing toward oblivion. I don't say this out of fear. I am the love and light guy. I know my thumbnails look like, that's because I'm going, it's real. That, oh my Godness is real. And we can do something about it. But we have to understand, here's where we're going to get into the powers that be. And I'm not going to point fingers at anyone saying, you did this to me, because I don't want to put you in victimhood. I don't want to put me in victimhood. I want to put us in the light. I'm going to put everybody in the light. Yes, but we've got some mother huggers out there. Let me say that more clearly. We've got some mother huggers. Yes, we got some father huggers too, and some daughter huggers and some son huggers. We get to hug everyone. And at the same time, we get to know when we're being hoodwinked. We get to know when the cape is being pulled over our heads. For this is all being done out of power, out of greed, a greed that knows no end, a power that knows no end. So here's the thing. We already are all one. We already are all together. We don't have to imagine a world healed. We came from a world that's healed. We don't have to imagine that we're one. We came from a world that was one. This pitting of one against the other actually makes absolutely no sense to our childlike sensibilities and our childlike self. That's why bullying blows a kid's mind. And bullying is something that's taught by adults out of fear, out of lack, out of desperation, out of power, out of control. Literally out of control. I can't recall which song it was that I heard yesterday. It was a song about my mind won't be nearly as messed up once I let go of all the garbage that I learned in high school. In fact, there's a great quote similar to that about learning begins once everything from Einstein. Learning begins once everything that you were learned has been forgotten. We have been trained and entrained by the powers that be with garbage. I can go back to high school. And I love you if you're a high school teacher. I love you. I love you. I love you. What's history about? It's about war. What's all these other, many of the books that we read? What's it about? It's about war. A lot of this stuff that we're taught is to, well, first off, to make us good factory workers. That's what this system was originally set up as. But it wasn't meant to make us free thinkers, and it wasn't meant to bring us together. It was always the longest nail gets hammered down. We've been trained and entrained with garbage, and that's the problem. It's the old programmer's adage, GIGO. Garbage in, garbage out. Garbage in, garbage out. The trick is we don't realize we've been trained and entrained. We don't realize, yes, literally, we've been brainwashed. We fight over parties. You're a red. I'm a blue. We fight over laws. I'm into guns. I'm into not guns. We fight over, and I'm not making light. Again, equal opportunity hugger. Equal opportunity hugger. Love everybody. But we've been trained and trained to have these fights with people. We fight over laws. We fight over zoning. We fight over the court system. We fight over politicians. We fight over whatever we've been taught to fight over. We fight over elections. We fight over wars. We fight over borders. And it's not that these things don't matter. They matter exquisitely, but they miss the big picture. What's the big picture? This is the message. We've been living a lie. You, me, we've been living a lie. And that's what I'm said. I can't censor myself anymore. That was the newsletter that I sent out. And please come to dailywoohoo.com if you want a daily dose of inspirational goodness to kind of shift your vibration on a daily basis. But my generalist newsletter, I said, I'm not going to censor myself anymore. And I was like, I want to put missiles in my image. Oh my God, it was way too scary. But it really pissed me off. It pissed me off out of love. Not out of want to hurt somebody, not out of anger, but we're living a lie. We're living a falsehood. We're living someone else's nightmare. You, me, we are living someone else's nightmare. If I'm not careful, Hannah Bear would be living somebody else's nightmare. That's my daughter, if you haven't met her. She actually managed to go to sleep while I was speaking loudly here, which is like a record first. She jumps in exquisitely. In Neil Donald Walsh's interview, he melts. It's awesome. On this coming Thursday, we're living someone else's nightmare. It's a nightmare about lack, about less than, about power, and about greed. It's a nightmare about lack, less than, power, greed. Lack, less than, power, greed. I lack this. I have less than. I don't have power. I need more. And the powers that be need more and more and more and more and more. But it's not impossible to stop. We simply have to stop buying into it. I was reading about an article a couple of days ago about economic growth. It was a term that came up, I think, in the 40s as a way to measure how a country is doing compared to another country, or how a business is doing compared to another business. Well, guess what? There's no winning the race of economic growth. Economic growth comes at the expense of all, because at the end of the day, you will win with economic growth when you've cut down the last tree, when you've mined the last factory, when you pulled out the last lithium, when you've done the last this, when you've had the last that. And then those economic powers that be will go bunker themselves down because there ain't nothing left. That's not winning the game. That's buying into someone else's dream or someone else's nightmare. Now, we stood the best, easiest chance of stopping this, stopping the economic growth at the expense of humanity and all earthlings for that matter. We stood the best chance when COVID struck. COVID struck. And for a very brief moment in history, the world stood still. It was very scary for all of us, but it was actually kind of cool. It was a time where we could all rest and breathe because there was nothing else we could do. It was a pivot point, and there was an opportunity there for great change. And in a sense, we all leapt at it, but we didn't have the tools, the means, or the understandings to know where we wanted to go. And we were getting brainwashed. So we didn't have the tools. We're getting brainwashed. The organizations, the powers that be are going, how can we scoop up even more power during this time? That's why people like, for instance, on Maui freaked out after the fires and go, they're going to take our land, because the powers that be want to scoop up as much of the resources, the haves having more, the have-nots having less. And after COVID, we very quickly found ourselves back here, but worse, because there was an even greater power consolidation taking place. And we could certainly go there. I'm not going to tonight about, is this engineered? Is this not? Was this a planned thing? Was it not? Is this part of a great big bad plan of the Matrix? I'll let you in on a little secret. Everything's part of the plan of the Matrix. The Matrix has no idea what they're doing with a virus, but the powers that be want to hold on to power. The powers that be want more money. The powers that be want more control at any expense. Equal opportunity huggers. We get to hug everybody. We get to love everybody. Saying, you did this to me, will fix no one and fix nothing. And you're going, well, Michael, you're getting close to saying you did this to me. No, I'm saying we all get to wake up. We all get to shift to unity consciousness. We all get to shift to love. We all get to have unlimited, full, complete, and total forgiveness of whatever. There is actually nothing to forgive. Neil and I were talking about that. God has no judgment. Whatever we define God as, there is no judgment. That's the place that we get to live as well. Equal opportunity huggers. And at the same time, we need to get out of their fear mongering, their anxiety, their anxiety producing paradigm. This paradigm that we live in, we've got to just throw away, where I need to get more mine before you get yours, or I won't get mine. I need to shoot missiles before you shoot yours, or I won't get the chance to shoot mine. I need to buy or burn or harvest all the fossil fuels I can before you harvest yours, or before you find an alternative and won't need my fuels anymore. Do you realize there's something like, I don't know, 4, 5, 6, it might even be $7 trillion a year being given to the oil industry so that they can pump, baby pump? Guys, I don't have a political bone in my body, but if that feels right to you, then you've been sold something. I'd say I have some ice to sell you from Alaska, but we're in trouble there too. Again, unity consciousness. Again, oneness. Again, thinking and feeling with our hearts. Humanity is in a race for a cliff, and it doesn't have to be this way. Now, if you've ever been in an airplane, you take off. It's a bumpy ride. There are thunderstorm cells or clouds all around. Oh, even wintertime, even better. It's super bumpy as you take off. It's dark, it's dreary, it's gray, and you pop up above the clouds. And you see below you this peaceful, poofy, puffy sea of clouds. It's like a gentle blanket of clouds down below. A gentle blanket of pure peace. Ah, that's where we get to live. That's the higher level. That's the upper room. That's the higher vantage point. And it takes just one thing and one thing alone to get us there. And the guides have chimed in. They chimed in this morning. They chimed in now. And they say, well, actually 2 things. 1, we get to stop buying the garbage that they're telling us, that they're selling us, that they're pimping us. We can certainly look at the headlines, but watch when it pulls in our hearts. Watch when it tugs you. I was aghast. I think I may have mentioned it earlier. I'm reading this. I think I got sidetracked when I was trying to mention it, that I'm a weather geek, and I was reading one of the different climate blogs, and all of a sudden they were celebrating that a drone attack had killed a bunch of submarines, had killed a submarine commander, had killed this, had killed that. And here we are on a weather blog, a blog to help save the earth, celebrating the killing of someone, celebrating the deaths of all of these people. There ain't no sides. Period. Yeah, but they had this, and they were starting to bring this into the world. And if we hadn't done, no. That's something you've been sold. That's something you've been told. That's something that's completely wrong. Is there right and wrong? Well, there's one story that's going to help humanity survive, the story of oneness, the story of love, and the story of hug. And there's another story of no matter what they did, we must kill them to stop them. No matter what we're doing, they must kill them to stop them. There is another story that it's going to take us to the brink or beyond. So number 1, we have to stop buying into the garbage. Is it really a free election if both candidates want war? Or can we demand a higher level of governorship? Can we demand a level of governorship, a strange word indeed, a leadership of come-togethership that meets all of the desires of the people? Guess what, folks? We can have that. We don't have to wait for a pie in the sky future. Once we stop believing, you see, when you believe something, you cause it to be so. You give it your power. Well, we're in a 2-party system. That's the way it is. Okay, you just gave your power away. We're in a system where I have to be a this or that. I have to be a that, or we have to have war, or we have to have this economic system, or we have to have. If you believe it, you will create it. I'll tell you what, we got Hana Bear coming into this world. We ain't believing any of it. We believe that we can tabula rasa, we can blank slate, we can create something new, you and me together as one. You and me as we. We can create something together as one. We don't have to believe any of this. The hug of one, the hug of all. That's the second point. Unity consciousness. We get to remember we are all one. I see people in the chat here, and I can't keep up with this. However, what I see is a lot of loving, kind people. I see a lot of loving and kind people here. I know there's some people that are scared. I know there are people talking about lemmings and things of this sort. We are being led to the edge of the cliff. However, we could have a rope ladder waiting at the edge of the cliff. We could have a rope ladder with a hot air balloon and go up and up and up when we remember we are all one. Now, how do we make great change? One simple act, so we can go cliche tonight. Sure, why not? One simple act of kindness at a time. One simple act of unity consciousness at a time. What's that mean? You look at an article online and you want to slay somebody. Send them an energetic hug and go read something else. Read something positive. When I'm in doubt, I'll Google search love, love, love. Or I'll go and look at cute and fuzzy animals. There's a reason to watch cute and fuzzy animals because they're always acting out of love. You'll see a cat riding on a coyote or something, which is just pure love. And we had a coyote, Pumpkin, for 17 years. So we get it. One simple act of kindness in the grocery, in traffic, at the post office, at the office, on the phone, especially with customer service. Talk about a place to need love. And that's one of my triggers too. Act as if we are all one. This tiny, infinitesimally small, almost completely and totally insignificant shift, which is anything but that, changes everything, creates a massive difference. You're driving along down the road and somebody goes to cut you off and you back off and you let them in. What? I'm not saying you don't have boundaries. Send them love. You could get across the traffic light, but there's this family trying to cross the road. You slow down and let them through. Even if you're in a big hurry, even if you need to busy someplace, love. You make everything an act of love, an act of unity consciousness. And you begin empowering others again. What does that mean? Well, there's a toll booth near me, and I'm convinced, and I have a card, and I haven't seen if this works. I've talked with Jessica about it. We're going to do it. So we've done it in other places. If I can pay for the person behind me, what's going to happen? This is the pay it forward. Well, they're going to pay for the next person potentially, and they're going to pay for the next person. They're going to pay for the next person. If I simply stop my car, and I'll do this all day long, for somebody who needs to cross the road, even if there's going to be space behind me, as long as it's safe, what happens? They're more likely to do an act of kindness for the next person, and they're going to do an act of kindness for the next person, and they're going to do an act of kindness for the next person. You become empowered when somebody has gifted you with love. You don't go, all right, let me just gobble that up and see what I can do with it. No, forgive me. You become empowered with love. I am empowering you with love here tonight. You can empower somebody else with love. They can empower somebody else with love. And what do we have? Oh, you may have heard it before, but I'm going to go ahead and say it right here, right now. I'm going to use that R word. You have a love revolution, a unity revolution, a oneness revolution. And this revolution, once we've chosen to enter it, once we've chosen to start it, once we've gone off the starting line, this revolution is unstoppable. And will we pick up on the bus for this revolution or go to this revolution or to not pick it, but to support this revolution? Who will put on the bus? Everyone. We'll bring everyone on the bus. The person we were against, the party we were against, the leaders we were against. There will be nobody to be against. Nobody. This will be totally a journey out of love. Imagine if the leaders with the missiles and the leaders without the missiles, what if they all came and sat down? What if we flew in countries that are wanting to kill each other and we all sat down at a table together and we had coffee and we broke bread day after day and we said, we're going to stay here out of love. We're going to stay here until we can come up with an answer. An answer, clearly everybody wants to be reelected. That helps me be reelected. I guess we need term limits for everyone, but that's a whole different thing because in authoritarian countries, let's start with the basics. Let's start with bread and love. All right. If they all sat together day in, day out, and stopped seeing each other as the enemy, but saw them as a breakfast or dinner partner, what's going to happen? They're not going to try and kill each other. They're not going to say, I need more missiles in order to point at this guy because that's, or gal, this is who you have breakfast or lunch with. Of course, this change would happen faster and faster if we invited women to the table. Hello. Because something tell me women leaders aren't in such a hurry to send their daughters and sons off to war or to kill people with atrocities such as missiles. But if we invited people in, hugs over missiles, man, hugs over bullets. If we invited people in to meet with each other, to see eye to eye, instead of feeding them this diatribe, instead of feeding them this message, instead of feeding them this brainwashing, how would things change? And if instead we focused on a new message, focused on a new revolution, focused on bringing each and every one of us together, you don't think you'll be reelected if you help bring each and every one of us together? Now, there's a lot of talk about a certain number of people coming together. If we get, 10% of people together, or 20% of people together, and we all meditate on the same thing, it will change this planet. I used to believe that myself, and we are going to do a group meditation, and I do feel it's very powerful. However, I now see things differently. I don't just see it as being the time to be on the couch, the time to meditate, the time even to meditate as one. I see it as a time of thinking, of acting, of being, not just in the meditation hall, not just on your couch, but in every decision make through the day, of seeing, acting, and being differently, of stepping forward differently, of leaning into love differently. That's a love revolution. By the very decision you make in each and every moment, we won't be controlled if we go to love. Get this. You can never be controlled if you're in a state of love. It's just not possible. You can't be controlled if you come together as one. Now, I'm not talking about conditional love where somebody dangles a carrot. That's not what I'm talking about. You can't be controlled if we come together as one. You won't be controlled if we dream of something better. And what do? We dream, we demand humanity come together in peace, arms in arms, bearing arms together in hug as one. Brothers and sisters and mothers and fathers, recognizing our divinity. You come from source energy, recognizing our humanness, recognizing that at the end of the day, each one of us is a cell of the human beingness, and every one of us is a cell of the earthling called planet Earth. We are one people, one beingness, one planet, here out of love, capable of demonstrating such incredible love. Look at a child. See how generous they are. See how kind they are. See how loving they can be. And you go, well, not this child, not that child. There's lots of wounds that children are gifted with. There's lots of wounds that you've been gifted with. Lots of wounds that I've been gifted with. But their amount of generosity and compassion and kindness knows no bounds. They're closer to the other side. They're closer to the source. They're closer to where we came from. We are here out of love, capable of demonstrating such incredible love and living in unity all together as one, all together. And going, is that a kumbaya? I don't even know the full story behind kumbaya, but we are capable of coming together all of one, all out of love. And that to me is a mighty, the mightiest of mighties. Woohoo! That is a powerful love. Woohoo! Indeed. And how does it get any better than this? So I want to open up the questions. I want to thank you all for your kind donations, because we get to right this ship, and we can do it coming out of a place of love. And so let's go. Okay. Megan Harris, you guys often claim love and light, but what does that mean? All right. What love and light means to me is that at the end of the day, when you visit the other side, and you can watch near death story or near death experience after near death experience about this, and not trying to toot my own horn, they're not glorious, but I've had the opportunity to dabble in this light just a little bit with 2 NDEs myself, near death experiences. What you'll find on the other side is that we're all glowing, we're all light, we are all this brightness that's more brilliant than anything we can see consciously, typically here. But that energy is who and what we are. And the best definition we can have of that energy, because we don't really have a word that can properly describe it here on Earth, at least not that I know of in the different languages. I can butcher little bits of 5 or 6 different languages. We don't have the terminology to fully define that. I think you would say we don't have the means of describing what's called the ineffable, the indescribable. But the best word that we can come up with is love. We are coming from love, not the love of, I love you, I want to spend my life with you, I love you, let's sleep together, I love you, I need something from you. This is the love of a rose that opens for no other reason than to celebrate its beauty with the world. This is the love that is the sun that shines down on us, that doesn't care who or what you are, who or what you've done, or who or what you will be. This is the love. It's this energy that binds everyone and everything. You can call it the quantum field. You can call it the Akashic field. But it is the energy, Megan, at the end of the day, your energy, having an energetic experience in human form, but you will return to this love and light from where you came over and over and over again. Ms. Patty, this one's a little bit off topic, so I'm going to just go there real briefly. Could you briefly explain lucid dreaming? Lucid dreaming, Ms. Patty, is a technique where you can go to sleep and wake up in your dreams, either to heal something, to explore something, to meet with someone, to learn from someone, or to have any number of experiences, fun experiences, educational experiences, healing experiences on the other side. We can call it of the veil. It's a good way to put it in this case. But you can be awake while in your sleep. It's something we've had guests here to talk about, and it is a very powerful healing technique. And actually, a lot of my daily woohoos lately have been talking about my dream world and how it relates to all of us. I can lucid dream. I'm just not the best at it, to say the least. But there are times that I wake up in my dreams and I get to experience them on a different level. Or my favorite activity in my dreams, as strange as it sounds, is to meditate while in a dream and watch the whole world around me in the dream change, and therefore the whole world around me in the living dream change too. Ashley, question to Michael, kind of random. Do you believe you are a starseed? And if so, where do you resonate being from? And do you believe we are going to have a positive outcome in the coming decades? So, Ashley, we're all starseeds. We'll all have a certain amount of, whether it's an Arcturian or Palladian or Martian or who knows. And we all did not originate here. Not a cell in our being originated from here. Our spirit was here long before humanity existed. So all of us are starseeds. And that's not trying to be political about it. I don't. There isn't a saliva test you can take that you can get all of your starseed DNA. So I've been told I'm from here and from there or from otherwhere. But the important thing is we're still all one. As for whether we're going to have a positive decade, here's my strongest belief: humanity will make it through. I'm absolutely convinced humanity will make it through. But at what level completely and totally depends on what we choose to do now. So the show this year has been taking this big shift, and I'm sure you've seen it if you've been with us for at least a few months. You've seen us taking this big shift from just doing the work on the inside to doing the two-step dance, to doing that balanced dance between what you do in here and what you do out there. Reason being, I want us all to have a positive outcome, and I want us all to make it through this time. And that means we're going to have to do the work. And the work is scary. The work is not easy. Oh, I'm not cold, but thank you. Jessica's off camera, coming to me out of a state of love and giving me an Inspire Nation sweatshirt to wear. How does it get any better than this? That was done out of pure love. How does it get any better than this? Oh, I thought maybe my stuffy was there, squash. So, oh, thank you, Pookie. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's what it takes. That's what it takes. In a sense, giving the clothes off of your back. That wasn't off her back, but coming to everyone from this place of love. And we can have a tremendously more positive few decades and much more to come. If we don't do that, I'm not a gloom and doom guy. I'm not a fear and scare guy. The fact is, though, if the powers that be are racing toward oblivion, if the powers that be want to burn baby burn and drill baby drill, and if the powers that be, well, there was an article recently in the Guardian that says, what was the title of that article? Sales are booming, that wars are up, and so arms sales are going through the roof right now. I don't even have words for that. If we don't choose to step forward arm and arm and say, you know, guys, we don't need that anymore. Right now, we're not able to get water. We're not able to stay cool. Our place is getting trounced by giant floods and fires and tornadoes, and our kids don't have air to breathe. Can we think at a little bit higher level? Can we stop with the sticks and stones, please, and play a higher level game now? I know that you have a border dispute over here. Can we think beyond that right now? Because at the end of the day, there are no borders, one circle. Then, and I'll hug you and I'll love you. And then let's sit down together and talk. And I'll hug you and love you and let's sit down and let's hug you and love you and let's sit down. And here, let me break bread. Oh, I don't have much bread left. Here, have most of mine. Have all of mine. I bring this to you in love. Again, we bring boundaries, but we come out of love. Now, how can we change the coming decades ahead? And Natalie, that's really where I'm going. How do you change anything with hugs and love? And this is not a sarcastic question. And it's not a sarcastic answer. It is what we believe we will see. What we believe we will see. If we believe that one killing another, that this missile doing that, or that this, I don't know what, is going to do that, that's more of what we'll see. If we believe that we can come together at sin at a table and love each other up and treat each other well and say, hey, would you like some more to drink? Hey, would you like some more to eat? Here, how's this feel? Oh. We change the world. If we believe that I have to, well, it's, you know, there was an advertisement on one of the shows I saw earlier today about how to concealed carry better. I'm not picking on anyone or anything, not a political bone in my body. But the only thing I want to conceal or unconceal is a hug at this point. Yeah, but Michael, what if somebody sticks up your family? I'm going to give them everything I have. Michael, what if somebody does X, Y, or Z? I still got to give them love. Michael, what if somebody, well, I know Neil talked about it. A Pope John Paul, I'm not going to get the numbers right, who was shot 6 or 7 times, who not only absolved the person who shot him, but had him freed from prison and became pen pals with him for life. That's the level of hugs and love we get to go to. And that word hug, so many words have been corrupted. The word freedom has been corrupted. The word woke. You can't be awake anymore, because then if you're awake, you're woke. Suddenly that became something political. Climate change becomes something political. All these words get stolen from us. So I can see hugs getting stolen from us too. And hugs is something so soft, so airy-fairy. What are you going to do next, Michael? Have us hug a tree? Yeah, if that'll save a tree, hug a tree. Please hug a tree. Hug a dozen trees. Hug a dozen trees more. Donate here. Give money for trees. Then hug even more trees. It's exactly what we need. Exactly what we need. From Doreen. Doreen, I felt a bolt in my chest when I heard Belinda Womack's voice change in your live show with her. What just happened and what message there was for me to learn? Doreen, I don't remember that specific moment, but I know that she was also having a step forward with love for all of us, it coming from so many different teachers, that message. So Doreen, I really need to go back and play that to hear exactly what that moment was. And I would like to know, and if you have a minute, I will go check it out for sure. But I know she was coming through with that same exact message. When the universe wants to speak to you, the universe wants to speak to me. It's sort of like what happens with inventors. if somebody goes, I've got the coolest invention in the world, I'm going to make $1 million, billion, gazillion dollars. Either you better get it out there first fast, or you need to just give it away to the whole world because we can all benefit from it. But what you don't want to do is sit back, because if it was given to you, it was given to you, it was given to you, it was given to you. When the time has come, the universe is going to give it to us to a dozen thousand different directions at the same time to get that message through. And that's why this message is coming through so many different teachers, talks at the same time to get that message to us from so many different locales. Insalubrious dithram. I have to look up that second word. How do I protect myself from negative energies like evil spirits while doing CE? Any suggestions? So I like going to a bubble of love and light prayer and to surround myself in it. And the acronym for this prayer I call is GSPI, GSPI. And it is a very, very simple, easy to do prayer. It's also something that we use in automatic writing. And you can pray. I use it with the word God, but you can use any word that seems appropriate to you for this. So it can be God, it can be source, it can be universe, it can be love. It can be whatever you desire it to be. And it simply goes like this. It's 4 lines, 4 lines and then 1 repeating line. Thank you, God, for guiding me with your love and light. Thank you, God, and that's the G, guiding me. Thank you, God, for surrounding me. That's the S, surrounding me with your love and light. Thank you, God, for protecting me. That's the P, protecting me with your love and light. Thank you, God, for imbuing me. That's the I, imbuing me with your love and light. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. So before you go out in the morning, you can do GSPI, guiding me, surrounding me, protecting me, imbuing me. Before you go into any place serious, you can do guiding me, surrounding me, protecting me, imbuing me. And I and Ann will take just a couple more questions if you'd like. So if there are a few more good ones, I'm happy to do so. Guiding me, surrounding me, protecting me, imbuing me. And imagine being surrounded in this bubble of love and light. Because at the same time I'm talking about hugs over guns, I am not talking about getting yourself hurt. That's the opposite. We set up healthy boundaries and we come forward from a place of love. And on that note, we have our automatic writing class this Thursday. If you want to learn how to channel, if you want to learn how to hear from your angels and guides, if you want to learn how to hear from literally your loved ones on the other side of the veil, simply come on over, automaticwriting.com. This is actually our last class that we're going to be holding. We hold it Thursday at 3 Eastern at noon Pacific, our last midday class, particularly important for people in Europe and other parts of the world, before we shift it to later in the day. It's going to be Tuesday evenings coming up after that. So if a midday class is easiest for you, you're going to want to come join us this Thursday, and I'll put the link in there along with a coupon code, and seeing if there is just 1 or 2 last questions. And then we are going to dive into a meditation here. And I'll take a sip of water and see if there are any or not. All right. So let us go into a meditation here. And we are going to certainly do a meditation of oneness. And thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. And thank you for being an ambassador of love. How does it get any better than this? How does it get any better than this? All right. What I'd like you to do, we're going to sit up good and tall, but relaxed. You're going to breathe in through the nose, down to the belly, and out through the nose. In and out. In and out. In and out. So we keep breathing in and out. We're going to imagine that we are forming a giant circle here tonight of everybody watching this past, future, and present. And we're going to link arms with the person to our right. We're going to link arms with the person to our left. We're going to breathe in together as one and out together as one. In as one and out. In and out. As we continue to breathe in and out, we're going to do something kind of interesting here. We're going to look deep, deep, deep inside of our hearts. Look at the very, very center of your heart. Look at the center of the center and look at the most innermost cell in your heart, and you'll see something interesting. You'll see it begin to glow. This tiny little golden glow inside of you, kind of an ember at the center of your heart. And as you breathe in, it starts to glow a little brighter. You breathe out, glowing brighter still. In, a little bit brighter. Out, even brighter still. In, brighter yet, and out. It's starting to glow so bright. It's like your heart is becoming a little mini sun. In fact, as you breathe in now, your sun, your heart starts to glow so bright. It's glowing throughout your whole body, and you breathe out, and the light is starting to come out through your skin. You breathe in, and that sun is glowing so bright, and you breathe out, and your whole body is transforming before your eyes into a giant mini sun. You breathe in and you're glowing, 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 and out, and you're sending out light everywhere around you now. You breathe in, you're glowing brighter and brighter and brighter still, and you breathe out and you're illuminating your entire home with this light and love. You breathe in, you're glowing so bright, and you breathe out and you're illuminating everywhere around you with light and love. Now you remember you're part of a giant circle, and you look around you as you're breathing in and out, glowing so incredibly bright, and you see that you're connected to the sun next to you, the sun next to you, the sun next to you on both sides. As you breathe in, and you see us all glowing and growing as one, and breathe out, and we're glowing and growing brighter and brighter still. And you breathe in, and you notice that the light around you, or the lights around you, we're all beginning to come together as one. We're all beginning to come together as one giant massive sun and star that we are. As we continue to breathe in, we have now become one massive star and sun, and we breathe out and we're sending love and light to everyone everywhere. And we breathe in brighter and brighter and brighter still, and we breathe out and we're lighting up the entire galaxy with our love and light. We breathe in again, in, and we are glowing so bright. We are illuminating this entire side of the universe, and out, brighter, brighter, brighter still. And one more time, we breathe in, and this sun that is you and me, and that is we, that is all of us, is illuminating this entire known universe and beyond. And we breathe out, sending out so much incredible love and light. And we're going to do one more time. In with that light, out with that love, and again, in with that light, out with that love, and in again with all that light, and out with that love, as you illuminate everyone, everything, everywhere, being the sun that you are, being the sun that we are, being the sun that can literally shift this planet and shift this world for our highest good. Woo! As you settle back into your sun, and for the highest good of all. And how does it get any better than this? Woohoo! You are the love, you are the light, and you are the sun. So I send so much love your way. Do come join us for Automatic Writing Thursday afternoon. Do come join us for Neil Donald Walsh. Oh my God, another all-time favorite. Paul was my all-time favorite interview. And now this week again, Neil is my new all-time favorite interview. Come join us for Thursday as well. Of course, there's the Daily Woohoo you can sign up for. We've got that link down below. And of course, you can join us for the School of Mystics on Wednesdays as well. Lots of love to everyone. Be unity consciousness, send unity consciousness, spread unity consciousness, walk around as that glowing, growing sun that you are, and we can shift this planet together for our highest good and the highest good of all, or something even better. Woohoo! Love you guys so, so much. Have the most amazing, amazing evening and new day ahead. When you write or hear from God, what do you hear when you bring up, will humanity make it?
After thousands of years, they're still killing each other. I actually said that to God. God said, Neil, here's the formula.
Every day there's a new horizon. Birds keep on singing, earth keeps on spinning. Time to toss any fears that rule you. Dance to vibrations, no limitation.